with Brawlhalla, and how with fighting games, and especially with Brawlhalla, simply because of the fact that you've got such a level of simplicity in its mechanics, that all of the psychological factors related to playing a game like this really do come into play. I don't know. It's something that I've been thinking about. And there's a couple really direct examples of how your brain works and how it impacts decisions you make in play. PX Shadow says turtle. I'm not sure why he says turtle. But I guess we'll find out. PX Shadow's probably a little bit new, but he's in Twitch chat, so I appreciate that. Aw, Zack Attack, that's so nice of you, man. Haven't played Brawlhalla in a week, but you're still here. That's so nice. Alright, let's see. Yeah, so psychological stuff. So here's a really common example. The Valkyrie Horn. Whenever you summon a Valkyrie Horn, what happens is the other guy automatically... his vision automatically goes towards the Valkyrie Horn. And I've actually been meaning to make a guide on this because the psychological impact is unavoidable, because the Valkyrie Horn is designed in such a way where, because it is the fastest moving object on the screen, because there's a risk of damage where you know you're going to get hit by it if you don't respond, when the Valkyrie Horn comes a-flying, you are looking at the Valkyrie Horn. You are trying to pay attention, probably, to what your enemy is doing, but you're looking at the Valkyrie Horn every single time. It's the same reason why people get hit by long-distance weapon throws, because it's not because a good player isn't expecting a weapon toss. They might be, but they're looking at a variety of different things to determine whether or not you're coming to kill them. They're also looking at the health bars. They're looking at all these different things going on. So, like, when I summon this Valkyrie Horn, PXS is going to respond to it or get hit by it. And because people know that they're either going to respond to it or get hit by it, players always react. And so there's all these situations I've had where I've been able to get off these, like, ridiculous-looking things while people are distracted by the Valkyrie Horn, which is just one of those, like, completely unavoidable things. Like, if they're paying attention to it, and 50% of the time they are going to be paying attention to the Valkyrie Horn when it gets summoned. The other 50% of the time, they're probably going to be paying attention to you still. But there are so many things that you can do under the guise of the Valkyrie Horn, and it's completely unavoidable. It's the same way that I get a lot of these hard reads based on how people like to dodge. There are certain scenarios when you pressure people where, because dodging has become such a core part of the game, and because of how people react to and play using the dodge in Brawlhalla, there's a lot of situations where you're not actually getting a read. What you're doing is you're putting the opponent in a situation where they will dodge. So the idea of them not dodging is something that's going to happen 90% of the time. Now, dodge habits change really frequently. Oh, apparently Faker's playing now. Say what? I have no idea who this is. Apparently PX Shadow is leaving. Bye, PX Shadow. I guess I'm gonna play this guy who is a big Faker fan. Yeah, so, like, there's certain situations when you're pressuring people where they know that if they don't dodge, they're going to get hit. And the fear of them getting hit in a situation is so high that they press the dodge button. SKT won wrong. They press the dodge button, even if it's not the right thing to do, when they could have done any other thing. But because dodge equals safety in Brawlhalla, it's one of those things where people are gonna do it in certain situations. Almost every time. Like, a really common example is if somebody goes for weapon pickup. Most of the time, if you're pressuring the map, and you have been pressuring the map all game long, and you've been thinking about how, you've trained them to respect your map control. So they know that they're gonna get attacked if you're pressuring them on a weapon. So when they go for a weapon and they pick it up, they're almost always going to dodge, simply because of the fact that you have trained them to believe in, like, you know, a Pavlov method that when they go for a weapon or an item, they're gonna get attacked like this. So if I do this enough times to SKT here, where if he comes near a weapon where I just whack him, or I attempt to whack him anyway, eventually what's gonna happen is he's going to believe that every time he goes for a pickup, he is going to get hit. So, as we can see right there, what did he do as soon as he picked up the weapon? He dodged immediately. So, from here out, we know that in this game against SKT, that every time he goes for a weapon, he is going to dodge after he picks it up. Most of the time. So, now we know that the percentage increase chance of him dodging after picking up a weapon, or jumping, or doing some other sort of defensive action, has increased. Which means that we can rely on him taking some sort of action every time he picks up a weapon, probably a defensive one. Unless he just starts playing completely erratically. But anyway, you guys get the idea. Like, some of this stuff is you know, training your opponent, and you can do this over the course of a match. It happens longer the more often that you've played. And it's one of those interesting things that kind of adds to the level of, not competitive depth, but I think psychological depth of these types of games. It's something that I see a lot more, like, in the people that I play all the time. Raiden thinks his opponents are dogs, confirmed. Hey, what's up, Pugsy? How's it going, man? And it's something that you can see a lot in Plat. Like, Plat players don't have any worse mechanics than everybody else. Most Plat players just have really crappy, predictable dodge movements. But from a psychological standpoint, you know, a lot of times we say things like, oh, you know, like, we have bad habits. We've developed the bad habit of dodging frequently and all that kind of stuff. It's a bad habit, but it's also something that it's a habit because it's the way that the game has designed us to think about how it's meant to be played. So, like, this guy, every time he does a signature, he dodges backwards. So, let's see if we can bait one. So, he dodges backwards. If Bryn was a little bit faster, I'd be able to hit him out of this. But we know every time he does that signature, he dodges backwards. Like, every time. And he's, over a period of time, what's happened is he's taught himself that this particular method of play is safe. If he can throw out this signature randomly whenever he wants and then dodge backwards and be safe on it. All of this happens, oh, it's D-Grave. Cool. All of this stuff happens. Are we all changing our names to Are we all changing our names to people that we're not tonight? Is that what's happening? What's really interesting is that people who have really consistent tactics like this, who are used to being able to do this safely, if you see somebody constantly doing something all the time that they believe is safe, if you figure out a way to break it, what happens is that now suddenly their mental state is completely crushed. Because a tool in their kit that they rely on heavily is no longer there. And it's one of those things, like, we see it a lot with Vrax players right now, abusing how good neutral air on guns is, right? But if you're playing any type of character that has a good punish for it, and you suddenly start proving to them in a constant situation that you can beat what they believe is safe, you will win that match. Like 9 times out of 10. Like if you completely crush like your opponent's game plan, and they no longer have the mental fortitude in order to hang out and deal with that, it gives you a huge advantage and you've psychologically won already. You know, and there's a lot of other things too. Like, there's a lot of stuff that there's a lot of stuff in the game that's more designed. There are different things that you can do to frustrate your opponent. And if your opponent is easily frustrated by things, especially in tournament scenarios where winning is more important than everything else, if your opponent is frustrated by certain things, then you can abuse what he hates in order to win the match. For instance, Taibo hates getting dodge punished because he hates the fact that Taibo Dodge was named after him. So he hates getting dodge punished. Taibo, I know you're in chat. You're just an example. You hate being dodge punished. Exo hates being contested. Just like, Exo does not like it when you contest him. Like, Exo has a very specific game plan. If you fight his game plan head on, it will eventually frustrate him. Exo stays pretty cool because he's a super competitive level guy when it comes to this type of stuff, but you get what I'm saying. Like, people who like to air gun space, it will frustrate them. People who don't do well with map control, like this guy, they will get frustrated, and he's probably really frustrated right now as he finds out that ground pound gets beat by all this other stuff. So yeah, you know, things like that. Things like, you know, they say, you know, in the fighting game community, they say stuff like, yeah, it's getting inside your opponent's head, you know? Like, you gotta get inside their head, man. And really what it's all doing is it's all doing psychological damage to the other guy. It's part of why I really like, it's part of why I really like Hattori, right? Because Hattori, we all know she's on a little bit more of the weaker end. But the thing about Hattori is that because she's so fast and so good at map control and so good... and so good at, so good at other things like constantly spamming signatures and a bunch of other stuff, it is... really interesting if you approach the match not so much from let's go in and let's win, but actually let's try to do psychological damage to your opponent. So Hattori has a really good tool for that. And the way that I think about Hattori is that every time I do any kind of map control or really aggressive unarmed stuff, see how I was able to get that hit in there because he reacted to the Valkyrie Horn? Anytime I can land any of Hattori's signatures, I am doing psychological damage to my opponent, because Hattori's signatures move her around so well, and because I'm acting all erratically doing these things, he's suddenly got to respect all of this space that I can control with Hattori's crazy-ass signatures. You know, I mean, look at this. Look at how little he's actually been on the ground because of my signatures. You know, at some point, his game plan has to completely change around because of how much I'm zipping around the damn map. And what this means is that when I stop zipping around and I start playing a little bit more normally, I'll be able to have a much easier time getting in on him. Now, of course, for me, this game doesn't work as well on the spear. But look at how well Hattori is able to mix up her direction of movement just because of this one signature, right? Like, he can't tell which way I'm gonna go because I can instantly churn left and right on this. So he has to suddenly deal with this constantly being a threat, the fact that I can zip around and change my direction and the rest of it. And if I do decide to go in normally, he now has to suddenly respect... Oh, that was nice. All of this other stuff that I'm doing. Because at any point in time, I can toss in one of the directional change abilities in order to mess with him. So Hattori is really good at spamming signatures on sword. You know, another way to frustrate people is to do this. Like, to constantly be throwing weapons in their face. So, I think Dreaconk's been without a weapon now for... I think that was about a minute we weapon starved him. And so as soon as he got a weapon, he signatured out of basically frustration, I think. Can I do a sword guide soon? Yeah, actually, D-Grave, that is something that I was planning on doing. Oh, that was nice, actually. Heyo. Sword's actually got some really interesting nuances, I think. Woo, if I had gone the other way. Nice. Oh, I'm dead. I do not yet have a sword guide. I was planning on doing axe next, because somebody on Twitter asked me to do axe. So, like, right there, that read was a really common one. When people get hit, like, by a slide kick, they, tend to react by dodging. It's just all this little stuff. That was mean. Best way to deal with sword users. They've been the bane of Ada lately. QT Drea, sorry for experimenting on you, man. I love you, bro. Ada. Ada's another good example of a character for where psychologically what you want to do is you want to be mixing up your opponent constantly. Hey, what's up, Com Gamers? How's it going, man? Bow guide needs to come first. I will work on that. I will buy an actual bow. So Ada's really interesting. Ada has some of the most defensive signatures in the game. And she also has some of the best for approaching, for punishing approaches, like direct approaches. So Dreaconk likes to, he likes to double jump because it makes him feel safe when he's way above signature range. As I've been able to determine from the first match anyway. But one of the things that's interesting about Ada is that most people will expect you to play defensively. They'll expect you to do lots of these, to do some side airs, you know, to play this whole, like, spacing kind of deal. But the thing that's interesting is that once you've trained people to get used to you playing defensively, that's when you can mix it up and actually start being really aggressive. That's probably one of the best things that that you can do with players like Ada and even Brax right now, is because of the fact that everyone's going to be expecting you to play defensively. When you turn on the aggression switch, you can suddenly get very, very interesting results. So that's something that I try to do. I try to, in the first stock, I always try to play either really aggressive or really defensive, because in the second stock then, if I switch my playstyle, people get really confused by that and are suddenly caught off guard. Because most people aren't used to the switching of playstyles in the middle of a match. Why was C9 Mango in my room? Because somebody from Zombie, or from Omni, decided that they were... So, like, Driakonk right there just died because he likes to double jump. And because after my first uppercut, he was distracted by the Valkyrie horn, and did not see me going in for a second. That should never work, like what I just did to him, but it did because he wasn't expecting it and because his concentration was somewhere else. So, like, a lot of tonight's discussion was based on the fact that I just came off watching a show on Netflix with my family called Brain Games. It's this National Geographic show where basically they talk about the psychology of, or the science of neurology, and how your brain actually interprets information differently based on what kind of stimuli, what kind of tasks are at hand, and what the heck else is going on. So for instance, stuff like paying attention to two things at once, it actually turns out that people can't do that. Like, people cannot pay attention to two things at once. Our attention gets entirely shifted in focus once we change what we're paying attention to. So in situations like the Valkyrie horn, people are either going to be paying attention to the Valkyrie horn or you, every time. So like right there, he got hit by the Valkyrie horn. But he didn't. He dodged the Valkyrie horn. While he was dodging the Valkyrie horn, what was I doing? I was charging up an attack. He attacked immediately after dodging because he expected me to chase after him. But I was charging up an attack that he never saw because he was distracted by the Valkyrie horn. Yes, I got lucky by, you know, him being in the right position for my attack to hit, but I could safely just go ahead and charge up that thing and get the hit with it. Do I want to play or do I want to cast the tourney? Well, I did sign up for the tourney, but if you need somebody to cast, I would probably be able to cast on Saturday. What's this Bryn Magma Bob thing? What is this? Oh, man. So yeah, Valkyrie horns, man. 50% chance flat for people not to notice what you're doing after the Valkyrie horn is on the screen. Just a flat 50% chance. It's pretty wicked. I'll throw in a case of jerky. Oh, that's so tempted. So tempting. That's why I signed up in the first place. I wanted the free jerky. This is my Bodvar strategy, is to toss out these. I gotta be quiet now because this is Magma Bob. There's another Valkyrie horn set up there. Hey! Nice. okay. I think he was trying to catch that. Whew. Am I gonna play Rise of the Ancients? What is ROA? I think you gotta face the bomb. I haven't tested this, but it's my theory. It's my theory. There, look, I'm gonna lock in Bryn first. She's mine! Rivals of Aether. So I've heard a little bit about Rivals of Aether. I've looked into it, I've read up on it, and honestly, like, I'm not that excited by it. Maybe I'll feel differently if I have the opportunity to play it. But one, I don't come from a Smash background, and two, from what I've seen, it looks really clinical. Like, it looks like... It basically looks like they built the game with frame data, and they're trying to make it so you can do cool combos. Like, that's all I've really picked up on it. Oh, Magmabob, please stop pussing. I don't know. It looks really boring. That's all I have to say right now. It might play different. If it plays different, cool. But oh my goodness, the side airs, man. Ha. No. Whew. Ow. I'm dead. No, Pugsy, it wasn't a marketer. Marketers aren't stupid. Well, okay. The marketers I know aren't stupid. This guy might have been, sounds like he was more of an angry fan, because what that kind of stuff does is it damages your game before people even have a chance to play it. So, yeah. Nice. Oh my god. Woo! See guys, right there, really common thing with the signatures is people always dodge backwards. If they completely whiff one. Yeah, that's some patience from Magmabot right there. Whew. punishes back dodges so hard. Whew. GG Magma Bob. GG, man. Magma I gotta be quiet against because he's stupidly hard. Oh, let's see who wants to play next. Did I pre-purchase the $50 50-pack bundle thing for the new Hearthstone expansion? I don't play Hearthstone anymore, so I don't buy any more Hearthstone stuff. Is this a Legends meeting? Always. Hey, it's On Tilt, my wonderful mod. Sweet action. I lose to On Tilt a lot too. My mods are really strong. You think I'm good? Fear the moderators. They're scary as hell. Oh man. Yeah. So I don't know. Psychology in games is interesting. You know, it's a topic that for me I really like, and it's part of why I really like Brawlhalla, because I've been able to explore it more in Brawlhalla than I have in other games. It's something that until please leave me alone. It's something that I really enjoy about fighting games in particular, because it's a 1v1 battle, and it's for the same reason why people like playing mid lane, right? Or top lane even. Because when you're playing those lanes in a MOBA and it's a 1v1 scenario, wow, On Tilt. Come on, man, I'm not that scary. And it's a 1v1 scenario. Uh-oh. Why did he throw that bomb down? Oh, crap. Oh, I jumped into it. Do I know why people get anxiety? Well, that's the basic, like, risk versus, not risk versus reward. I can't remember what to say, but it's basically when there's more at stake, we have higher emotions concerning whatever the imaginary value is. So it's like why people get more stressed out in tournaments, especially if they haven't played a lot of tournaments, you know? It's because there's so much riding on it. And that's usually like what makes the difference between like a really good competitor and somebody who's just, you know, scrubby. Is their ability to stay calm and collected under huge and ridiculous amounts of pressure. Oh, that was weird. There was no follow-up from either of us. Ooh, the clip! Hey, what's up, Harold03? How's it going, man? Yeah, consistency is hard for all of us, you know? I mean... It's something where there's a lot of different things at play that make something consistent or not. So it's interesting. Consistency is not easily achieved. He did it again. He back dodged after the aggressive signature that whiffed. Walk forward with it and signature. Because people always feel like they have taken a great risk and want to get to safety when they miss the signature. It's the little stuff, man. It's all the little stuff. You're bad at taking breaks. I gotta win before I do something else. Well, yeah, that's a really common thing with competitive games, man. You play because you want to have fun. Then you lose, and then you're like, you know what? I want to win, so I can have that feeling of fun again. kicked out of it. Oh, that's unfortunate. I died earlier today and lost to a plat player because on the ranked ladder, mind you. Because I picked up a bomb while I was on a soft platform, -1 jump. Nice uppercut pause. Sweetness. Nash is super hard to deal with. Nash is probably one of my worst matchups right now because his stuff comes out really fast and it beats out so many other whiffs. Just getting in my running backwards for the day. Nice. Oh, I'm dead. Might just wait for next patch. Trying to get me off the top? Ah, come on tilt. Couldn't even react to that. Whoop, I'm gonna die here. Nice. Whew. Player 2 wins. Yeah, I found in this patch that hammers are really difficult to deal with, honestly. But hey, we should play Pugsy and we'll see if he destroys me or not. I gotta say, Purple Bryn looks really good. Purple Bryn! Zaloxery's really been stepping up his game lately. He's got all gray Roland. I was gonna get that. Holy crap, level 30? Talk about dedication. I wish I could play this game that much. Man. Alright, well, hey, comm gamers, if you're still in the chat, man, shoot me a note on Twitter tomorrow about potentially casting Saturday, and I'll get with you so we can talk logistics. I think one of the things that people forget about Roland is that he's wicked slow. And so one of the key things with Roland is to just like press your advantages. Exhibit map control. All that kind of stuff. I don't know. I've really been enjoying Bryn lately. I think I've played Bryn all weekend. Most of my games were with Bryn. The other thing about Zaloxery, if you guys are in Diamond and playing Zelo, he doesn't have much of a landscape. I don't think he'll disagree with me either by saying this, but his Roland game almost entirely relies on sword stuff. And he's pretty good at it, like he's got setups and stuff. But when you play a character, you want to be equally comfortable on both of their weapons. Like, maining a weapon isn't really going to do you that well in the lands of Brawlhalla. I don't know. And it's the psychological thing, too. So, like, one of the other things that people forget about when they're on my stream, and they come in and they play, And like, people are like, you know, Brayden, you do so well against people on stream. So here's one of the funny things. When you play somebody on stream and you're not the actual streamer, there is a psychological impact of you playing against the person whose stream you are entering. Because you have probably just watched them destroy all the people who came in front of you before the stream. There was supposed to be an item there, but there was not. So, for instance, like right now, like nobody has won a best of 3 set, and I've played some of the best people in Brawlhalla tonight. So anybody coming into the stream, no matter how good they are, they're coming in here going like, oh man, Brayden is on a frickin' roll tonight, and I gotta go in and deal with this noise. So it's very unlikely that somebody is gonna come in and win with as much ease as they might in, ranked, because of the fact that they have been watching me win games, game after game after game after game after game, which also adds to the psychological factor. It's part of the reason why people rage quit against me on ladder when I've played 5 games against them and I lose the first 2 and I win the next 3. Because once I've figured them out and they start to lose games, they can't deal with it. And it's just psychological. It's not that they're playing any better or worse. It's just psychological stuff. It's just psychology, man. Until you were playing Lucian. You want me to find your fighting problems, Caller Creation. Caller, didn't you start, like, Saturday? I think I remember giving you a key during the tournament or something. Or something. Ooh, twist and turn. Ah, taking a whole lot of damage that I am not pleased with having taken. Oh, can't dodge away from that. I should have jumped. Oh, nice weight on that. I'm gold and it only took 2 days. You know, getting gold in 2 days isn't hard if you have like a natural affinity for fighters and stuff. It's Brawlhalla is pretty easy if you come from like another fighting background of any variety. Some people get to gold really quick, other people it takes a little longer, you know? The holy, or not the holy fail. Zaloxery has adapted. He has adapted. Oh, I just kicked myself into it. Nice. It does feel like the servers are lagging a little. I will be honest with you. I was so patient. Hey, what's up, Fuzzy L? Oh, those lance recoveries, though. That was cool. Actually, that was like a really smart place to use that. The Hattoris you play against weren't aggressive and they don't ever move. GG, man. I think it's Pugsy next. Yeah, I get nervous about losing games all the time, man. I always get nervous about losing games on ranked. I get really, really concerned when I play against platinum people on ranked, and I am afraid of losing like 60 or 70 elo in a single match. Like, everybody gets nervous, you know? It's just about whether or not you let that nervousness impact how you play, you know? Goodness. Oh my goodness, Pugs! It's like somebody made a Lance guide and Pugsy watched it. Wow, my stuff's all over the place today. No, Pugsy, leave me alone. Oh. Damn it, Pugsy, just die! There we go, he's dead. How do you get that Orion skin? This is the Metadev Orion skin you can only get from certain things. Largely by meeting a dev. Ah! Oh, I tried to dodge out of it, but I could not! Whew. Oh, nice, 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 nice. Nice. There's no way around that. I want to meet a dev one day, but I need money for that trip. Raiden, I enjoyed the ESL tournament on YouTube. Awesome, man. I'm glad you had a chance to check it out, even though it was after the fact. Oh, that would have been so cool. Ah! Are there any exclusive skins other than Metadev and White Fang or Bodvar? I think those are the only exclusive ones. But I'm sure there will be more exclusive ones as time goes on. Oh, hey, look, we get a Nash match. Nice. Hey, I'm not the only one, WGC, you know, you gotta give Throne some credit too. Does Pugsy play guitars? Alright, so remember, Nash has a side air on the ground and in the air. And he's unpunishable. Like most characters, except his stuff still hits like a truck. Oh, one of the cool things I like to do with Nash is combine his dodge with this forward sig, because you can go like almost the entire wave of the platform with that. But Pugsy typically plays Nash and probably knows all of his secrets, including all of his spacing and my propensity for dodging. Zeke, please. Oh, Pugsy. Hey, the unreactable Nash forwards. Oh, man. So yeah, it is actually like really interesting too. When you play somebody else's main character, this is part of why I have determined never to have a main. If you beat them with it, psychological damage. So like, best example of psychological damage, and he's gonna hate me for saying this, but pots and pans. People troll pots and pans all the time in tournaments because they know how upset he gets. That was pretty swaggy, by the way, in case you guys missed that. Pots and pans gets really easily upset compared to other players. And one of the easiest ways to do this is to just either play like a complete scrub, like how Stardust beat him at the ESL, where he just like patience him out, and knowing that Potts hates that. And so Potts totally caved. Is Dinohedron actually in chat right now? Or are people just referencing him? Yeah, and Potts just caved because he didn't basically Stardust put him on tilt and pissed him off so much by how Stardust was playing that Potts could no longer concentrate on playing the game. Yeah. I don't know what that's all about, but that's how it works. So, Holy Pale, are you telling the story of how we got on ESL?
3, 2, 1.
Alright. Hey, Wolf Trigger Happy. I like it. I like it, the Holy Pale. Oh, man. Oh, man. I'm confused. Didn't I just play you, BB Gamer? Don't you already have a key? Am I queued for a match? There isn't really an official queue as much as there's other stuff. Alright, Cow Gamers. That sounds good, man. Oh, man.
Random.
Let's see who we get next. Oh boy, it's Pugsy. I don't think Reddit got it right. You know I put that together, right?
3, 2, 1, brawl.
I think the thing that's confusing to people about the current play of the game is that everyone wants to be able to play the characters exactly the same way, and I really don't think that the game is in that spot anymore. It's one of those things where I feel like the game has really kind of come into itself, and you have to play these characters differently. You can't just be like, oh, you know, what works on Lucian works on Sentinel because they're both guitar players. You know, it's not the case anymore. I think everything's a little different. And yeah, I don't think everybody is perfectly equal, but if you compare it to, say, like, 113, you know, shit's night and day. But yeah, I do definitely think like Lucian, Hattori, Scarlet maybe, are definitely on the weekend. You know, I'm thinking that signature speed is probably going to get tweaked or balanced or something, you know? It's hard to say. But, there is definitely an ease of use factor with a lot of these legends. You know, Rax probably being one of the easiest. Who's in charge of the ESL League to contact? He's actually in chat right now. Talk to the Holy Pale. He is the one that coordinates all of the ESL activity, Com Gamers. Going too hard tonight. Alright, who wants to play next? I think his Flush Vortex is up. But yeah, the weak links that I'm seeing are mainly Lucian. Like, if I had to redo the tier list, I'd put Lucian an A-. Hattori an A- and Scarlet an A-. And Brax would go an A+. I think I'd probably put Nash an A+. And I'd probably put Bodvar an A+ too. But again, you know, it's hard to say. Ooh, I just got this color. You have to be in Diamond to play in tournaments. No, you don't need to be in Diamond to play in tournaments. Cassidy seems pretty weak this patch, but I don't think she's that bad. Cassidy is... It's hard to make Cassidy weak. Her signatures are still fantastic. Setup. Ah, come on now. Woo! That's why Cassidy's strong, ladies and gentlemen, because she's a cowgirl. She's got ropes that are gonna hit behind you. Ooh, the scoop. I don't think Flesh is very used to playing. Ooh. Playing hammers though. Oh, I messed that up. That could have been a kill. Oh well. Oh, nice. Forcing me to jump and then responding. Flesh is getting really smart, man. Wait, what? Oh, the Holy Pale still got mod? I gotta get rid of that. Crap. How did nobody mention this? Gotta learn the way of the Hamurai, man. Hamurai the Samurai. Flesh Vortex really found his home on guns. But, whew! I was just getting used to the cool sword. Oh, it's the Holy Pale. Oh man, but that one. You know, people are all complaining about Vrax, man. Cassidy has Vrax's signatures, but with the frickin' hammer. And faster. I mean... Oh, shit buckets. Oh, recoveries. Oh, see, man, scoops right up off the ground. Mercy, mercy. Oh my god, the lasso. Oh, I just stood there and ate it. Oh, GG Flesh. Can't wait to get Bryn to level gray color. I think it's 15 or 20. Bum bum bum. Alright, what did I need to do? Where is my shit? Sorry, Holy Pale. I love you, man. But I can't have too many swords in the room. I will give it back to you for the next DSL, though. Cassidy's recoveries on the signatures are non-existent on her hammer signatures. Non-existent.
3, 2, 1, brawl!
Oh my god! Cassidy. Heyo! Do you know what you need to get partnered? My crap net can't get glorious streaming quality. To get partnered, I need to average apparently like 100 concurrent viewers or some crap on average. Oh, Cassidy. Oh my goodness. He knows that I dodge through every time. All right, boys, we gotta pull out a win here. Is that gonna be enough? Now it is. Brandon got a sub button. I'm pretty sure at least half of us would sub. That's so nice of you to say, Pugsy. Okay. Oh, I messed that up. That's unfortunate.
Player 2 wins.
Oh, GG, man. Alright, last one. After this one, I am gonna go and take a short break, and then I'll be back for more 1v1 awesomeness. Half of us already subbed his TV. Oh boy. Is it best of 3? It's always best of 3. Literally gave everyone free low. OZ zombie. These things happen though, man. It's through no fault of your own. What is this gray bar stuck on the thing? Alright. And I'm dead. Oh. No, I need to refresh for that to go away. That was so awkward. Nice. No! It beats the down spear! You just want some of the bigger streamers to host Brawlhalla tourneys. Yeah, well... the hell? Ugh. No hammers. There we go. Woo. I can host Brawl tourneys, not really big. GG Flesh. Alright guys, I'm gonna go ahead and take a short break. Feel free to use the lobby how you will. I will return